It's an areological, autoerotical, tubular, bovular joy. An exposular, regional, batular, pouchular, fun for girl and boy. A latissimal, dorsical, hung like a horsical, caliphalygical ball.
The most bunular, funula.
Fruit of the lumula.
Frenchical, tongular.
Wabada, bobular, bunular, fruit of the lubular, frenchical, tongular, wabada, bobular, lessical, orbical, smirtus, bobular, tusha, particular ball. Hey!
Hey guys, how's the movie?
Oh, it's breastica, bubical, chestica, mammical, pendular, globular. Oh, for crying out loud, movie sound.
Have a seat.
All right, I'm gonna have a seat.
How's your beef?
It's not short or shriveled.
Thanks for lifting my band from the show.
But it's sweaty.
By the way,
Yes.
short.
You know, the faded vodka episode that we never aired.
What vodka
That's the-
episode?
Uh-huh. You know, the one where afterwards you were laying in the grass outside? Facts.
I don't
Saved
know
your
what
life
you're
that
talking
night.
about.
Covered in vomit? Was that pre-vomit or post-vomit?
And bugs. I saved his life, I think.
Probably did save my life.
So I was banned from the show until now.
Lifesaver. Candies.
You know they're doing away with the cream savers?
Oh.
The lifesaver cream savers?
I don't know why that was. I don't know why that was necessary. But it
Done.
was.
They're
perfect
done. They're
reaction.
just continuing them. That sucks. Those are great.
I don't really eat candies anymore.
Oh, neither do I, but...
Because you're so fit.
I like sodas. No, I don't.
You don't eat anything bad because you're so fit.
This isn't a podcast. This is an intervention, isn't it?
It is.
Bring the two fittest guys I know
Charlie,
to talk to me about my problem.
Fitting my dick in his
you don't have a problem. If you don't see it as a problem, it's not a problem. I've told people this before. Cocaine, you want to do it? Go ahead. If other people have a problem, that's their problem. They should have an intervention.
Wait, you
people
got any?
who don't have a problem.
Got a glass table right here.
There's a whole lot of...
Hey, edit that out.
Hell no.
That's mild.
Yeah. Trust me. Monterey, baby albums, I don't even want to talk about it.
You don't have to. It's on the last episode. Or the second to last episode.
I mean, you could, but, you know. Beating a dead horse kind of thing.
He does beat a dead horse. That's the problem. He beats off a dead horse.
Is that what he calls his dick?
Well, he says he's in Philly right now, but he's in prison.
What do you do?
Shout out to my boy in jail.
Free tie.
Baby albums, bro.
That's going to be the one-liner for
The whole time, he was the one getting rid of saved characters in the boat out in the lake.
Delete that profile. There was that profile pic.
So what's today's show about?
Baby albums, bro.
Speaking of children and getting...
Well, these don't suck.
Yeah, we're talking about children. We're talking about children's activities. We're talking
Children's
about a place where
dreams.
children always go.
Technically, we are.
Yes,
place where
technically
kids
we
go
are.
to
So that's
live
kind of a
out their
segue.
dreams.
Yeah. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. No, we're talking about Disney.
Too soon. It's too soon.
Disney. Too soon. That was 93.
No, he hasn't been gone long enough. The poor guy's in court again for getting another molesting case.
Listen, Black Jackson has been gone for 30 years, so.
Biggest pop star ever invites you to his amusement park, then gives you a hand job. I call that a great vacation.
That's right.
Great vacation. I call that a lifelong dream come true.
Hell yes.
My man.
You don't have softer hands than the king of pop.
He constantly touches
That's like
himself.
getting mad. That's like getting jerked off by a pillow.
What do you think's
With what?
in that glove on that hand? That's Vaseline. He's always wearing one glove. If he touches you with that hand, that's like getting touched by a cloud.
I'd never wash anything ever again. Like, at all.
Beats to it. Never been touched though. It's weird.
It's really weird.
I mean, I don't smell that bad.
No, we're talking about Disney.
Yeah.
More specifically, the odd side of Disney. World, Disneyland, Disney in general. The whole dynasty, I guess.
There's been like a lot of documentaries about it. And
What would you call it?
movies
It's
and
not
stuff
really.
like
Is it a dynasty? I guess you would call it
It's
dynasty.
an institution at this point.
No, the Disney Empire.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's literally what it is. It encompasses everything. From household entertainment to fucking real world entertainment.
So I guess what would Kevin Feige be the
It's a deity at this point.
Grand Moff Tarkin? I don't know. No, maybe.
Edit that out too.
No, he's higher power. I think it's Vader.
Deleted.
It's part of Disney Empire. Yeah. So this is the dark stories of Disney, or the
The dark stories of the empire that is Disney.
the other side of Disney, the taint. This is the taint of Disney.
Taint.
Yes.
The part that gets scrubbed the least.
There's a lot of stories. This all came about one night. I was listening to deaths that have happened inside Disney parks. And I thought, yeah,
There's a few of them like that.
That would be an
I got a couple
interesting
on.
topic. And then I just started delving more into it. It's like, there's more than deaths that's happened in these parks.
It's like there's a whole underbelly.
Yes,
almost.
there is, which is to be expected, I guess, for any kind of huge empire like that. I mean,
Sure.
it has to. There's no. It's definitely not going to be squeaky clean. And
hell no.
some of the things I've written down there are dark things, and there are other things that are just odd.
Oh.
Not like so much dark, but just like, what the hell?
How's the saying go? The road to good intentions is paved with the sins of man.
Yes, no, I
Something
don't know.
like that.
Sure.
It's how every business is.
I'm not
The road
fact checking it.
The road to
I'm not fact checking it.
The road to success.
Anything out of your mouth tonight, I am not fact checking.
Put it on the screen up on top.
Not fact checking.
So where do you start?
Why
You
not?
start with Walt Disney himself.
Because it'll be a 16-hour process if I do. Walt Disney himself. Yeah, we'll start with Walt Disney himself.
Revolutionary, creative genius, definitely a weird dude too at times.
Yeah.
Had his own issues. Yeah, very very historically anti-Semitic.
Yes, he is. That he is very much.
He didn't allow female animators.
Yes, it didn't allow. That was one of the things I wrote down. Give the reason.
No, go ahead.
His reason was. That was actually, I think, the last thing I put. Didn't allow female animators. Claimed they do not do creative work. And then,
was ahead of his time.
here's a fun fact: Frozen was, I think, a female director. That was the first female director for Disney, and she did Frozen, and that was a huge success.
Oh, I mean,
so that was kind of a thumb in the back.
Monster.
That wasn't something in the bag. That was a surprise finger in the butt.
Just Disney
I don't
himself.
get that often enough.
Boy, was I wrong. Sorry.
So yeah, that was quite the one I saw. There was
Speaking of animators, he also didn't. He was very much against unionizing.
yes.
Like real, like he was paranoid about it.
Well, yeah. A lot of horror stories, because that wouldn't have been in our stories tonight if he had a union. Children labor, child labor. I mean.
I got one here that says being anti-union. Walt Disney accused several of his former animators and employees of being
Communism.
communists.
He was
under oath.
fanatical,
Under oath.
fanatical about that.
Yeah. Which is funny because I call people commies all the time. Just
You
as,
do it. You do.
I just joke. Walt was actually serious. He would do the same thing, but seriously. Yeah, you sound like a fucking communist. And I'm sure he sounded just like that.
Here's one. It's not as interesting as what you guys talk about with anti-Semitics and sexism and shit like that, but Walt Disney was.
He didn't eat meat on Wednesdays.
Walt Disney was suspected to use the Club 33
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
for a Freemason, because the Freemasons were supposedly ran by the Illuminati.
I think the Club 33 is
It
like.
still exists today.
Yeah.
It's like an elitist club where you
Yeah.
have to pay thousands and thousands of celebrities.
It says exclusive member, about 400 people in the club
There's a
with
waiting
up
list.
to a 3-year waiting
Yeah.
list, costing $9,500 to $25,000 per membership, and then $3,000 to $6,000 on top of that annually. It's not open to the public.
So how does one get into it?
You have to have
Probably
money,
invite
probably know somebody.
Yeah, probably invite or something like that. Yeah. It's like modders on GTA. You gotta know them.
So early on, with all these fanatical belief systems
get
that
done
he
with
had, he did a lot of propaganda films too.
Yeah, World War
mostly,
II.
Yeah, mostly in support of World War II.
Yeah.
There was one about menstruation.
Was there?
There was, which I find to be pretty hilarious. But one was the Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals. He knew what he wanted out of life. he wanted you to believe what he believed.
He didn't want you to come up with your own opinions and ideals. He wanted you to take his.
Yeah, he was almost tyrannical about it.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I got the accusations of employees and stuff like that, calling them commies, going back to what you like to call me every day at the gym.
Don't feel special. I call
I just
everyone
want a
communist.
bench. Like, leave me alone, bro.
What a communist. Red is dead.
I need a spot.
Stupid Ruskies.
There's one thing that I found interesting, which I have to see next time I'm down there. I got to see. I think it's Disney World. There's a statue of Belle, and she's looking down, and to children it looks like she's smiling, but to adults she's frowning, just looking at the statue.
That's
and if
crazy.
you look, there's
Wait,
a
say
lot.
that again?
The statue of Belle.
Okay.
From Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Why
To
look at
children,
me?
because you're the Disney fucking.
I just got back
ass.
from Disney.
Yeah. That's, there's a statue of Belle.
Great
and
place to
to
visit.
children looking up at her, she's smiling, but adults looking straight at her, she's frowning. And if it's like, what's Belle was this one of the things is like problem with or the thing with Disney princesses, they all have like psychological like issues.
Yeah.
Like all of them, all the classic ones.
You know, can I sidebar for a second?
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out, speaking of, Beauty and the Beast and Belle, I'd like to point out that Gaston is not really the villain of that movie. He was protecting his small village from a beast that kidnaps people. Think about that for a minute. Jay, so he's chauvinistic. That means he was a good guy.
Perspective.
Yeah, you got to think about these types. As an adult, I see it now. He was actually the hero of
Yeah,
the movie.
but you know what? I also see him more as a metaphor for
He was a little
human
rapey.
nature.
Also a little
No,
rapey.
like the whole village.
You look
he's-
like a rapey clown.
He stirred up the whole village based off their fears, which at the time, if it was different or out of the norm,
He wasn't imprisoning
it
people.
was bad.
The Beast was.
That's what Gaston represented.
Isn't that
Plus
the
he was
one?
muscly.
Didn't Belle
Good guy.
didn't Belle actually like sympathize with her captor? Isn't
There
that
you
the
go.
one?
Yeah,
it
that's
actually fell.
very much so.
Very dominatrixy.
But isn't that
Say this to me.
I know you're trying to think of the name of the syndrome.
Stockholm?
Stockholm,
Yes.
yes.
Stockholm.
I was gonna say Munchausen syndrome, but that's where
Yeah.
you make your kids sick for attention.
So isn't that Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm, yeah.
You know what? I'm wrong. I should be in this closet all day.
Like his
I'm
whole
just
entire
shit.
castle of people that served him turned into cutlery because of his ego.
Listen,
What a piece of shit that
he
is.
had
him.
inanimate objects that
Team
came to
Gaston.
life. I would love to be in that castle. It's a castle, for fuck's sake.
Would you rather be like a teapot or
That
like
movie,
a
you know
cabinet?
what's funny?
Clock.
As a child, I can't unwatch it now as an adult because as an adult, all I see it is for what it is. It's a big dig at human nature. People's ego make the people around them suffer. People afraid of what's not normal or what they're not used to, they get frantic and crazy.
Was
The Beast, he turned a poor woman down. How many people in this world do you see walk by poor
oh
homeless
no,
people?
that's something else. I
It's
never-
human nature.
I had a friend that walked by this
I
bum in
suppose.
New York
But you-
City, and he had a pocket full of change, and he went reaching for it. So he's jingling all the change in his pocket, and then he never gave the guy any change. It was almost like he was like breaking his balls.
That guy.
That's terrible. I was like, dude, give
You know
me the
what
change.
Beauty and the Beast kind of like mirrors is The Hunchback of Notre Dame from 23.
Oh, yeah. Another one. Jesus.
That one. It takes a freak that was outcast and like a clock tower. That was a castle. That was clock tower, Hunchback, and some young like beautiful woman like I guess sees the real side of him or whatever and ends up I wouldn't say fall in love, but definitely is sympathetic in Hunchback.
Nobody finds it weird that all of the princesses are all underage, basically. Nobody finds this
They're all
weird.
like
Except for
14,
Elsa.
15.
But they all
they're,
find love.
they're bordering that line. So it's not like
It's fun. Actually, it's funny.
Little
that you
Mermaid's like
mention
supposed to be a kid.
yeah, Pocahontas. Isn't that another one where she's like 12 and
He's like 49 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I made up the number, but
you know
Elsa's
he's
a grown
significant.
man. You know what's funny? When you think about it now, Elsa is the only one that appears to be, or is made. You're made to think she's above age. She's the only one who doesn't end up with a man at the end of all the Disney movies.
that's a good point.
That's fucking dark if you ever ask me.
You're too old.
Maybe she's into the carpet.
Oh, you
Your
want
freshness days has definitely
Here's another
expired.
dark little thought about Disney World. Lion King. How many lions are in a pack?
Oh, I remember you. Yeah, all right.
There's only one male. So that means
Siberia? Sigourney Weaver?
what's Simba's mother's name?
Suboxone?
What's Simba's mother's name? Sagira?
Oh, Philly.
Yeah. Where Monterey is.
Oh no, it's Sidra.
Come on, you're supposed to be the moderator. Look this up.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. Her name's right there. He called.
I don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
Sarabi. That's her name.
Sarabi?
Yes.
Is there a thought cloud?
So, I was pointing to my thought cloud. So, Sarabi is Simba's mother, which means someone else is Nala's mother, which means Mufasa is Nala's father and Simba's father. So, of course, in Lion King 2, Simba and Nala have a baby. That baby's lucky that it's not mentally disabled.
Maybe it was.
That would explain the mind trip.
That's why I had sex with its sister.
Speaking of Disney parents,
Yeah.
how come they all die?
What, Disney parents?
Like every
They do.
single
Bambi's
characters-
Bambi's mother, like one of the earliest ones, right?
all of them. Basically,
This is what.
But the father never dies. You never
where's
know.
the mother in Little Mermaid? Dead.
That's true.
Ursula.
Here's a fun fact.
The Frozen parents? Dead.
Or
Allegedly.
You mean
Allegedly.
Tarzan's mom and dad?
Are they dead?
non-existent.
They die by the
Dead.
cheetah.
Dead.
Mowgli? Jungle Book?
You never know where
It's
his parents
always
are.
about death because think about Up, the wife. Nobody seen the movie Up?
The wife, yes.
I did,
The wife,
but I don't.
dead.
Kevin.
Dead.
There's so much death.
Star Wars.
Screw slasher flicks. Let's just watch Disney movies.
You want to be depressed?
Death in-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We could probably do that. We could do a whole show based on
Look how much
who
death
dies
is in the Marvel
Disney.
Cinematic. Look how much death is in Star Wars. But that predates Disney, so I guess that doesn't count.
True.
A lot of death.
I was gonna say a fun fact, talking about parents dying and whatnot. In
Sure.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It's quite a segue.
In Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Judge Doom.
You mean the cartoon character, yes.
Yeah, Judge Doom was originally supposed to have been outed as the person who shot Bambi's mother, but then they decided it was too dark for the movie. I thought that would have been a great twist.
Oh, that would have
Because that would have made you hate him that much more. It's like, this fucker?
He's the reason I fucking cried my eyes out at 13 years old.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, 3 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute. How old are you?
47.
Belle and Jasmine's moms dead. I can do this. all night.
I should put a picture of each one up every time you say them. Have their picture and just a stamp that says dead, dead.
Jasmine from Aladdin?
Yeah.
Her dad's alive.
No, the mom is dead.
Oh, sure.
Dead.
So Belle's dad is alive, her mom's dead.
Did any dads die?
Plenty of dads died.
I'd have to think about that for a while.
That was Inside and years ago.
No, well, Tarzan's parents, Elsa and his
Yeah,
sister's
allegedly
dad.
they're dead. In a
Mind
home.
over. You died inside. Is that shirt to remind you that the pain really isn't that all bad?
No, Mind Over Matter Records. It's actually my niece's record label.
Oh,
The back has a kick-ass saying. Success is the best revenge.
against who?
Anybody.
The naysayers.
Exactly.
Quackers.
Does she,
The naysayers.
the revenge? I guess.
So, Darkside of Disney. Why don't we talk about the parks?
Well,
Alive.
Serious.
the parts of well, speaking of dead, actually, and the parks. Did you know there's an abandoned water park at Disney?
Yes.
And allegedly, music still plays over the loudspeaker still today,
Really?
like during operating hours.
There's something about the parks that I thought was fascinating that brought me back to bring me back.
Please say the utilidors. If not, then we'll go into that later. Go ahead.
The basic catacombs for all the park employees.
Yes,
That
that's
they
the
go-
utilidors.
they-
That's what
yes.
they're
The what?
There's Go ahead.
So basically, it's like this complex underground tunnel system, where it's basically where the cast members, go to change. It's like their break rooms. It's how they transport quickly throughout the facilities.
Okay, I've heard of like the
Trash
underground.
collecting is happens down there. Break rooms, like I said, changing of costumes, which actually brings me to a really funny little note.
Yeah,
wrote.
I know what you're gonna say with that.
The
That's
unsanitary, the 2001 unsanitary union, where there was a union at this point, but they had to get involved because the costumes. They had, say you're Goofy and I'm Goofy, but your shift is later, so we have to use the same costume. So there's no time for me to bring it home and wash it. So there was this whole case where there was lice, scabies, and all the shared underwear and things like that. So that's a pretty dark side of Disney.
Shared underwear because Disney has issued underwear, specific underwear that you have to wear in these costumes because they don't want you wearing like civilian underwear or whatever, because they think it would bunch up. There's a possibility it would bunch up and then show through the costume. So they give you
2001.
So they give you specific underwear to wear in these costumes.
Till today.
I don't know if they'd still do it today.
For what it's worth, I would share underwear with you.
I appreciate that. I would wear any
No.
underwear.
They when the union got involved, what happened was they made it a point where you have to bring home the costumes and obviously watch them.
Yeah.
Because that would be far more sanitary.
One would think. 2001 even, you'd think.
So yeah, I mean historically, like the cast members is what
There's only 98 today, so it's not so heavy with moisture.
No, only about a cup. You're good.
Here's a flask, you're gonna need it.
Don't mind the crotch area, it's a bit sticky.
I totally share underwear with you too.
Oh, God bless you, because I sweat a lot.
My old pair of underwear, dead.
There's
The crotch plate in that last one I had, dead.
the sky above Disney parks is considered national defense airspace, so flying any personal aircraft, even a drone, would get you prosecuted
I
as
have
a
that down,
terrorist.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me. I was like, wow, no shit.
Any private plane, drone, you will be arrested as an actual terrorist.
Yep.
Because Cinderellas Parents dead. I think.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's pretty notorious that they underpay employees. That's a huge thing.
That's improved over the years, but yes, that's well known.
I don't know what their base pay is now.
Allegedly, there was just throwing shit in there to keep it rolling. Allegedly, a man died of a heart attack while riding Disney World's Haunted Mansion ride because it was too terrifying.
Which it's not.
No, it's
I don't
not.
know. I've never seen it.
Last time I was on
But
it was years
apparently,
ago.
that
but-
wasn't the original. What you guys have seen today wasn't the original.
The last time I was on, I think it was 96.
Last time I was on, it was like 2.5 weeks ago.
I've never been to Disney. Just for all the viewers out there to
I
know.
haven't been there in like 20 years, so.
Speaking in the same breath of deaths and rides, did you hear the whole Goodnight George story? This is an old story. This is
Yes,
I think
yes,
I
I
might-
did.
That one here somewhere.
That was
workers on the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
Yes.
Great ride, awesome ride, one of my favorites of all time. He passed away, and now every time they shut down at night, they say Goodnight George to all of the rides. It's kind of morbid if you think about it. Like, hey, let's
More creepy than anything.
let's be sad about it.
It's respectful. It's like,
And also on Pirates, I'm sure you probably read there's an actual human skull in
On a throne or something like
the throne,
that?
the jewelry room.
Yep.
Yep. So that's pretty weird.
How'd they get away with that?
Hey,
That's
where do
interesting.
you buy a human skull?
You can actually. I can name them all.
UCLA.
You got a guy?
I can name them all 10 different.
He's got a human skull guy.
Yeah, dude.
I got a guy.
I got a guy who can get you a human coccyx.
And sign me up. Human cocksack.
No, actually.
Is it a package deal?
I can name about 10 different tattoo parlors
I see what you did.
in the
See?
Tri-County area that have legit
Cocks?
human skulls on their shelves somewhere for display. It's insane. I don't know why you'd want to advertise something like that for a tattoo.
It's
parlor.
real. Okay, cool. So?
Do you really want to know? I did have that George one though, by the way. That was-
Goodnight George, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to say it like they have to say it, or the ride like, and it's funny.
Or they die. No,
No, like apparently,
maybe I'm exaggerating.
Allegedly, like if you don't follow like the procedure, say it before, say it at the end, whatever, the ride ends up. It's like they've had all the documentation, all the recorded problems. It doesn't operate right that day.
I don't know.
If
I don't know.
you-
But
that
I know
day or
it's
the-
said for superstition.
Yeah,
I
that
do
day or
know.
the following day, there's always a malfunction that happens if you don't.
Here's one that's really skeevy. I think it's 2001.
Is this the one where Walt Disney drinks boy urine?
Yes. No. Wait. That's right here.
That's,
When
it's
they
his frozen talking head drinking.
When Disney found out a local Florida daycare had painted 3 murals of Disney characters on their walls, they threatened legal action.
It's territorial.
Threatened legal action. And then who was there's another company that came in just for a PR move that gave them free reign to make theirs, like right after, because Disney said they were going to go ahead and sue them if they didn't paint over it or remove it or whatever they had to do. And then I can't remember the other company.
Snow White's parents presumed dead.
They said, you know what, you can like right there. It's like, you can take our kids. Go ahead, put our characters up there. We won't mind at all. I was like, that's a good move.
That's smart.
Yeah, but I read that like, that's fucking scuzzy.
You don't get to the...
Give me your lunches too, little
I just think it's it's savvy business.
And you don't get to the top of the ladder.
We're protecting our
on
shit.
a few rungs on the way up.
Little Billy doesn't know who Cinderella is at 6. Fuck him.
Sleeping Beauty's parents? Possibly dead.
either, fucker. Who's?
Sleeping Beauty? Possibly dead.
No, they're alive.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they sleeping too?
Yeah, in the movie.
I retract my statement.
At the end, the prince that saves her ends up...
Fucks the parents.
Yeah, it's
Is that
really
how that movie ends?
weird.
Knew it.
At least in the video version he made.
It's a director's cut. It's a producer's cut.
Filmed, starred, and directed by...
That's right.
I mean, Quacker.
Took me
Did you see
forever.
the whole cat thing? Did you guys read that?
Yeah.
They have several hundred cats. And it's obvious in these
Well, that
parks,
number went from 2 to 700 real quick.
just several hundred, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
I read some. It was like 200.
Pest
It's a
control.
lot.
But anyway, it's pest control. Because obviously there's trash just everywhere. I mean, it's just a natural thing that happens. So they release cats out into the parks, and any mice that kind of come up or bugs, things like that. Hey, here's a bunch of cats. We're gonna eat them and pest control.
Dress them in armor and shit. And
kinda
fucking laser thing.
Kind of smart, killer cats.
Yes. Did you meet your quota today?
Until the cats, rise
You didn't?
up and start eating him.
Dead. Cat dead.
Where's your rodent?
Where's your pants?
Oh no. You know what happens to cats that don't do their job.
Bunch of pussies.
Cause pussy cat.
You got it.
Oh, shit.
Glad to get you there.
All right, here's one for you. The spirit of a man haunts Disneyland's Space Mountain, and sometimes people see him fall off the ride. Mr. Medway died while helping build the ride and never got to see it finished. Sometimes he'll ride next to you. When I worked at Disney, we'd have guests screaming. Now, this is someone else's testimony.
Right.
When I worked at Disney, we'd have guests screaming that there was a guy next to them on the ride who was there but then fell out.
I might have heard that on the original YouTube video I was watching that kind of got this whole thing started. There's, like I said, there's been a lot of deaths in the park.
And the funny thing about it is they historically try to deny it or act like it doesn't happen there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's no way there could possibly be deaths at
No.
a place where
Look
hundreds
at-
and thousands and millions of people go to annually. No one could ever die there.
To live out their dreams of watching people.
2007 in the Paris Disney World, a girl, she was a teenager, she died on Rock and Roll, the Rock and Roller Coaster. That's the Aerosmith one, your favorite band of all time.
That's right. I forgot about that.
What, that they're your favorite band or the girl that died?
Either one. How stupid of me.
Well, here I am.
Steven Tyler no, what I think he's more ashamed of is the fact that Steven Tyler could totally whoop Phil Anselmo's ass. Easily, hands down.
He'd swallow you whole with that mouth.
Oh yeah. No.
In 1973 and 1983 in Rivers of America, a couple of different isolated incidents where boys drowned in the water parks.
Oh, yeah, I have that one too. It's actually I got a little more detail on that one. Hold on.
Well, you
where
came
is it?
prepared. I'm happy for you.
The Tom Sawyer Island. Two brothers. This
Yes.
is one of the incidents that you're talking about. Snuck out and hid on the island until the park closed.
It was their
And
fucking fault.
They tried swimming back to the main park.
deserved it.
The older brother with the younger one on his back, but the older one went under. They found his body the following morning.
So, long story short, don't sneak into the park out, when you're not supposed to.
Motherfuckers die too.
The same guy I was talking
Rest
about
in
before
peace.
that snuck up on the monorail, was sneaking in after hours, and actually got hit by the monorail.
Yeah, that's how I have that one too. Actually,
That's
gotta
that's
eviscerate
fucking
you,
that's
right?
brutal. Yeah, it's got to. That's brutal.
there's
Dolly Young, did you get that one?
no, but I have one about somebody doing a Wizard of Oz stunt on a set. Anybody who knows Wizard of Oz stunt. Someone hanged themselves on It's a Small World at the Disneyland park.
Yes.
This is generally assumed to be untrue. While passengers are being evacuated for safety concerns, One lady took pictures. One image showed someone hanging from the ceiling above the ride, but it was later. They were told that that's just a prop. But it's a small world.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a joyous, happy ride, and they had to do it hanging themselves.
Wouldn't that song continue run on a continuous loop 24/7? It's a Small World.
That's Jackie's favorite.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, it ties into her, her grandmother and all that, so I get it. It's nostalgia, but it's terrible. It's such a bad ride. It's a nightmare every time I go.
Oy vey.
So Dolly Young,
Can't say that when we're
1984.
talking about Walt Disney.
Yeah, fair enough. 1984, Dolly Young, she was riding the Matterhorn bobsleds, and the seatbelt kind of, malfunctioned. See you later. 1974, Debbie Stone was a cast member there.
No, hold on.
Crushed by rotating theater.
I think
She didn't get through in time.
Yeah, I did.
Walls.
Yeah.
I have that one too. Actually.
Rotating theater. Yeah.
I heard about that one too. That's another one that's brutal. That the monorail, jeez.
Let's be honest though. 1984. It's not that the seatbelt malfunction. It's that they weren't made to wear seatbelts back then.
Yeah, we didn't have to.
Fuck, I sat on my dad's lap one day going 65 down the
Pussification of America.
That wasn't your dad. That was Mr. Dingling. It's coming back now, isn't it?
Come on, he's obviously.
You know what else was coming back
On
then?
the inside. What?
Coming on his back.
Oh.
Mr. Dingling.
There's a reason why he's got that name. Mister, I don't even know you.
You know, it's funny though. Little sidetrack. Chuck Berry, Mr. The Ding-a-ling song. That's that is such for the times. I love Chuck Berry. You ever heard that song?
Maybe.
Oh my God! Line from
That was a very unsure answer.
Yes.
Song. One of the lines go: "When I was an itty bitty boy, my grandma caught me playing with a cute little toy, silver bells hanging on a string. She told me it was my ding-a-ling." Now, as the song goes, she caught me playing with my own ding-a-ling.
What year was that?
Chuck Berry? Oh, I don't fucking know. Long time ago.
You know how everyone says, "Oh, today's music, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I have a song from Lucille Bogan, 1923 or 21, something like that. It's a blues song. It's an old black chick talking about.
That's racist. Go ahead.
No, it's not. It's fact.
Oh.
The lyrics in the song are, "I got nipples on my titties, big as the end of my thumb. I got something between my legs that make a dead man come. Oh, baby, won't you shave them dry?" I listened to that song like, what the fuck?
People don't realize
It's a classy chick.
Sinatra. Frank Sinatra got a lot of his lyrics. Well, he came up with a lot of his own music, but some of them were inspired by other songs. Now, what a lot of people don't know is Frank Sinatra took a lot of his inspiration from one Italian singer. I don't remember his name, but my Nana, rest in peace, she used to translate his songs to me. One of them was talking about getting the back alley girl to play with this slippery eel. And careful because it slimes all over the place. And I'm like, and however old I was like, I don't get it. And then as I got older as an adult, I'm like, oh,
I don't get it.
This guy's paying a hooker in the back alley to jerk him off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a guy who's got to figure it out.
I gotta go on stage in 20 minutes.
That was good. I'm going to make a song about it.
My slippery eel, dead.
His parents.
It's up there.
So, oh God, it's terrible. I have a lot of death.
I got the U.S. flags in the park are not all. None of them are true flags. True U.S. flags. Some have less or more stars. Some have less or more stripes. And the reason for that is because if you're in a public place and you have an American flag, you have to raise it every morning and take it down every night. There's no way they're going to do that in the parks. So they have all these flags that look like American flags, but they're not truly American flags, so they don't have to do that.
That's interesting.
Boy, that's
actually.
making America.
So next time you're down there,
It's funny because they have, Epcot has all the countries, and America is one of the featured ones. So I'm going to be looking around for that now.
yeah, next time you're down there, like, keep your eye open if you remember it.
Everything you say, I remember. Everything.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Disney princesses suffering from psychological disorders. Ariel has an identity crisis.
Yeah, she identifies as a mermaid. She is a mermaid, but identifies as a person.
Yeah.
A two-legged. Wow.
It's going around a lot nowadays.
Cinderella suffers from her own complex of staying in a dysfunctional situation because she fears independence.
It's deep.
Yeah, and the only way she gets out of it is by meeting a man who takes over her life.
In reality, that's what happens. Men come and save the day for everybody.
You saved my day.
No guys ever came.
No, yeah, we
My
do.
day.
I came before and after the podcast,
That saved my day.
and maybe during.
Yep.
The super racist film South of the South.
Oh, and there's still Splash Mountain is still. Go ahead.
Oh, that was it. I was just gonna that was a bullet point, and I wanted to talk about that. It was just,
And
South of the South, I've
Song
never
of the
heard
South. Yep.
Chappelle did a
Oh.
skit on it in the original Chappelle series.
It was kind of one of the original, like half cartoon, half live.
It was live
movies.
action with cartoons in it. It's an old black man, with like what's it, blue or whatever animated bird, like
Yeah, and then there's also like the whole Briar Rabbit and
Yep.
Village and Bears, and those are like the villains, and it's basically every stereotype you can think of that's racist is in that movie. Think of the South, think of how it was. I think it's older, like 50s.
Is this
right?
still?
Yeah.
Can you find it?
You can find it right on YouTube.
Probably find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I was watching clips of it
I've
recently.
never heard of this. Because the minute you said that, all I could think of, and I'm sorry, American History X.
I don't know how you got there.
Oh, yeah, racism, I guess, but that's about the only thing.
Well, the how's that song go?
Curb Stomp, classic.
That was a great song.
A guy
how's
who
it
got
go?
curb stomped, dead.
The guy that was in South of the South, dead.
Song of the South or South of the South? What is
South of the South.
I thought it was Song of the South.
Is it Song of the South?
I
Well,
think
it was a typo then. Where
Oh, all right. I've never heard of it.
I could look it up.
I'm gonna have to watch that. Educate myself on some
yeah, but
stereotypes.
Chappelle did a skit.
Yes.
That's the one where during the skit,
What was the
Chappelle,
skit?
like this guy's like swatting at the whatever when they're playing chess, and he goes, "What are you swatting at?" And he's just swatting at something that no one else can see.
Kind of like a couple of images you can find, but yeah. So and it's still featured to some degree in Magic Kingdom, the biggest park there is, right? Because or the most popular it should be, but Splash Mountain is based on the whole Briar Rabbit story, and the whole escape. It's kind of like the log flume, the log flume rides where the end is the big drop.
Right.
And that's this whole Song of the South was the inspiration for this ride. Oddly enough, my son, his favorite ride now. I think it's for the big drop at the end and it's fun water ride. I'm hoping. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about
Let me ask something
racism.
then, because I grew
He's
up
5.
in every place you can imagine around every walk of life, and I don't like coming up in those places.
If you haven't been to Disney World, you haven't been to every walk of life.
The Briar Rabbit.
Briar Rabbit.
Briar Rabbit.
Yeah.
What's racist about that?
It was just a lot of
Seriously,
it's really about more of the. It's not so much the characters; it's the stereotypes, and now looking back, I don't think back then it was really considered racist. But
Well, nothing.
So
Well,
what
everything that
stereotypes
is
like that-
racist, like back then, wasn't considered
The
racist because
Briar
it was the
Rabbit.
norm.
What does that
I mean,
stereotype?
he's just a character. I don't think it's as deep
Oh,
as
okay.
that.
So that never really struck me. I've seen those characters. Once I saw that picture, I'm like, oh my god, I've seen something like this.
Yeah, it's one of those things. As soon as you see it, I'm like, you've
the
seen the
surface-
image before. You've seen images.
And
of
on
it
the surface, I
before.
don't think you would think that this is going to have that element of racism to it.
Right.
See, because where I grew up, a lot of the people I grew up around, it was, I don't know. It was always, the bad stuff happens to us.
Well, that's just the.
That's
You know what? I'll keep my mouth.
That was
shut
a
for
very
that
broad
one.
statement. Never mind.
No, I'm gonna keep my mouth. All
I'll
right.
pull that back. I'll retract.
I was gonna
that
say because I was just gonna say that's the whole victim.
also-
syndrome
isn't there
thing,
a
the
whole Jim-
victim complex? Like, oh, poor me. Everything bad happens to me.
Isn't there also like a whole Jim
outta here.
Crow scene in the original Dumbo? Mother's dead in that. Dead.
Yeah.
That I
The
don't
Jim
know.
Crow. Yep.
There's a whole
Yep,
whole
there is.
scene.
I haven't seen Dumbo since.
I watched the new one
live
recently.
action. Yeah.
It was alright, I guess.
I think the last movie with Dumbo I had was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. that one
only-
small cameo.
The only reason I don't like the
You ever
new,
fap to that movie? Who Framed Fap?
Yeah.
to Jessica Rabbit. Yes.
There is that
I
one-
meant to Roger Rabbit.
There is that
Clearly.
one. Where's Monterey? He fapped to baby.
The one smoking the cigar. Oh, I wish that was something else.
My stogie.
Monterey, my dick.
My stogie.
Yikes.
Oh, it got
This goes off the rails quick,
it got
doesn't it?
bad.
Always. It's a normal.
Last podcast. It got.
I don't know. I've been banned for so long. I forgot how this goes.
This is a normal thing.
I know. Like you look like you've buffed up. You were like in the jailhouse.
I did. I was doing
like the routine
push-ups
on
every
your
day.
band.
What was it
Quack
for?
and push, quack and push, quack and push.
Quack and push. Quack and push.
Well done.
Every time he did that, I was home.
I think once you guys got a little
Felt
more
something.
off the rails on this show, I was like, yeah, we can let him come back now. Just no more vodka is in my contract. Oh, do you have a contract? have a
I
contract.
don't have a contract.
You might
I'm
wanna
the
talk
person-
to him about
I'm the only person who doesn't get paid. Or a you know what? You
Oh,
guys
I mean, there's no contracts.
You guys think I'm in trouble for not signing a contract? I'm free.
Whatever you want to be.
So, yeah.
I don't get paid for this. And smiles. And
Here's
happiness.
a fun fact. The Seance book in Disney World's Haunted Mansion was originally a real 14th century book of witchcraft.
Is that right?
That's
That's it. That I find interesting.
No wonder why they're successful.
They finally they
Satanists.
they replaced the book because it was found out to be true. So once people found out, it was, ooh, we don't want to, and you know how Disney is, we don't want to lose money. Oh, no, don't worry, it's not real anymore. It probably is still a real book, but...
Speaking of Haunted Mansion, that reminds me of one of the other stories that I've learned over time. Disney has become a hotbed for spreading ashes.
I just looked at that one. I was
Haunted
like,
Mansion being one of the main ones, but I guess if you're found to be doing it now, though, you're probably going to get banned, a lifetime ban from there.
Yeah,
What
it's,
do you think? How many ashes have been spread over Disney?
Think about that. I want to be spread throughout Disney, but I don't want to be ashes. I just want my body parts to be spread throughout. And my arm on, Space Mountain.
Man, is that a ball sack?
Rich was a good guy.
man or Amanda?
I think it is.
Speaking
that's
of
all I need
It's
to
a
know.
Small World, that's your son's favorite ride, you were saying?
Not my wife's.
Oh, your wife's? It's believed the characters on Disney's It's a Small World ride come to life even when they're unplugged.
Oh, come on.
The ride is haunted.
That one's a little bit out there.
Cast members have gone on record to say that they
Life is
see
not
When did
really
this
Toy
become the
Story.
Missing 411 podcast? I can go back on that if you want.
Life is not really Toy Story, guys.
What?
Be a lot cooler if it
Space
was.
Mountain? Was that the ride you were talking about?
Yeah, that's one of the rides.
Love
The one your kid likes so
Space
much?
Mountain was
Splash.
awesome. No, that
Oh,
was Splash.
Splash Mountain.
Like literally about 10 minutes ago I said it.
Supposedly,
He spaced.
a man stood up on the coaster and got his head cut off on the ride at Space Mountain.
I can believe, is Space Mountain still like a rickety wooden roller coaster
Yeah.
inside? Is it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No wonder someone's head got cut off.
Yeah, I love Space Mountain when I went down there, went on that.
Oh, of course. It's one of the most iconic, Ric Flair.
How
Longest
long?
line,
But
still got-
how long until they get rid of that? Because they get rid of fucking.
That's one I
everything
don't
that's
think they
awesome.
will. Personal
That's like
feeling.
the Comet in Great Escape. That's one of those.
He wants just keep doing repairs.
They're historic. No, they're historic. They're deemed historic. You can't.
It's the first thing you see when you go. Well, it used to be the first thing like you'd notice when you go up there.
Like the old Westall School. Susan B. Anthony taught there. Fucking place is falling apart inside. Have you ever seen inside?
No.
It is not good.
Seaman?
Not anymore.
Seen inside of the Westall School.
seen inside.
It's not good.
I went to school there. I was in first grade, kindergarten, first
My
grade.
niece
there.
went to school there 20 years ago. So it hasn't been that long.
Oh.
But it's gone downhill. And
Sure, it's not really touched. So, Disney got an Oscar for the short film about Donald Duck becoming a Nazi.
That's awesome.
He got an Oscar for it.
Well deserved.
We were talking about Jessica Rabbit before. There's I don't know if it's a frame or two, but there's a full frontal shot of Jessica Rabbit and Who Framed Roger Rabbit when she gets thrown from the car when they're in the chase
Full
scene.
frontal, what do
Are
mean?
you going to put that up on the screen, though?
Yes.
I want to see it. I can't see it. Like full frontal, top or bottom?
Bottom.
Like lips and all, you see it?
Take a look again.
All I see is green. That's not what I want to see when I'm looking at a girl's vagina.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I've been looking at the wrong vaginas my whole life.
She hasn't douched. It's not very healthy. vagina.
So if it's green, it's normal.
Yes.
If it's green, it ain't clean.
I'm having conflict.
Freshness date.
There's like a devil and demon. There's an angel and demon on my shoulder right now. Angel, if it's green, it's not clean. If it's green,
He's right, you know.
come in it. I'm gonna have to watch.
If it's green, come clean.
Doctor.
That's good. It burns when I dance. No, pee.
How about the death of Walt Disney's mother? His parents
I don't know
almost
anything
both
about
died. So it's kind of, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it Dark Side of Disney or anything like that. Just the whole point of it is just a bit odd and bizarre. Is his mother's death was the result of lead gas from the house that he bought her. He had like his studio employees and stuff like that go check out a leak. They, people totally unqualified to check a leak, a gas leak. Yeah,
Stop cooking eggs, bitch.
so by the time they got out of the house, she died from it.
Huh.
Oh Jesus.
Wow.
Well, way to go, Walt Disney. Walt Disney's mom's dead.
I'm starting to pick up.
Talk about.
Starting to pick up a trend here with Disney, man.
That's the whole reason, I guess, that he made Disney World and the whole thing was because he was like dissatisfied with life.
Iron Man dead.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Good riddance.
I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe under Kevin Feige, that will soon be dead because he'll move on to other things. That's what successful people do.
How about the whole? You want to talk about the weird side of Disney, all the business deals, and that whole thing with Sony recently. So that's a whole
I
odd
did
side of
read
Disney.
into that a little.
That
bit.
really
That's
is
a
odd.
Big
You're like,
thing to go for.
Wow, that's
You almost can't really blame Disney for asking for the 50-50 deal because, they made Sony $1.8 billion in 2 movies. And that's where it all starts, is this business deal. Like, no, we're good. We're going to pull out, Actually, I guess Sony wanted to keep the deal the same, the 5%, and keep it moving.
Disney wanted more money, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. They resurrected the character. And he's never been better. Spider-Man is at his best now in the MCU. Everyone feels that way.
Do you
They
think
should
that's
feel
because
that
of
way.
the supporting cast or because of Spider-Man himself?
A little bit of everything. I think Tom Holland is brilliant. I think he's
it's
brilliant.
50-50.
Even Stan Lee said it. This is exactly how I envisioned, Peter Parker to be
But
this smart alecky kid.
The same breath, I'm sorry, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans weren't bad. Yeah, the third one wasn't as good as the first one, and the second one was mediocre, but I didn't think they did all that bad.
No, they were good.
Yeah, they were good, but
and they
Tom
were maybe a little
Holland's
bit ahead of
They're
their
not as
time.
good as the Tom Holland, because he's got that boy charm.
Yeah.
And they might have been a little bit ahead of their time, but Tobey Maguire was almost too nerdy, too much of a pushover as Peter Parker. But they were still great movies. I think we can all agree that the Garfield movies were trash.
The 2000s.
Garfield movies?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield or whatever.
The 2000s were a weird time. Like, everything that came out in the 2000s, music and movies, like, even TV shows.
Was very production liney.
Yes. I guess that's the best way to put it. It was very
Put this piece here. put
meat
this piece here,
grinder,
put this piece here.
hamburger, everything.
Yeah.
Like, everything was just seemed so not true or not what it should be. Like, it was a weird transitions period because in the 90s and 80s, like, there were too many liberties taken by studios for different franchises, and so any superhero stuff that came out wasn't really like true to what it was. And then the 2000s hit, and it was more true, but there were still liberties taken. And it was a weird transition into like more creative side, like it used to be way back, and when there wasn't so many restrictions on things, at least for franchises and stuff. And nowadays, I mean, it speaks for itself what it is. But yeah, the 2000, like X-Men, I didn't like any of the X-Men movies in the 2000s. Didn't like any of them. Just
There
was
some
not a
redeeming
fan.
qualities throughout. I mean, they had some spot-on casting, like
The first-
Yeah, the
Patrick
casting.
Stewart, Hugh Jackman.
The casting was great, but
Spot on.
the movies as like themselves,
The first one was
I don't know.
decent. The second
Yes.
one was good. Logan was great, but that was obviously much
Yeah.
later.
yeah, that was
And Deadpool has been great, but you're right. Those early X-Men movies were wonky.
Yeah.
They tried to put too many moving parts and change characters, story arcs, like with the whole Rogue. Like that's not what Rogue was
Apocalypse, yeah.
about. You know what I mean? And
But like I said, that was a transit. Like they were starting to get like these multiple story arcs, like together. They were like figuring it out as they went along.
it was almost like
"Well,
they mashed too much at once
Yeah.
instead of just telling a good origin story of the core 5 X-Men, which is what they should have done. You didn't need to
yeah.
bring in Wolverine right away. You could have brought him in the second movie.
Yeah.
Because he's not an original. So, I mean, just do it that way.
Isn't that what they're supposed to do with the new one?
I hope so.
I heard.
That'd be
I
awesome.
heard rumor that they were going to have it the original X-Men.
Just do it from the beginning. Scratch
It was a rumor, so it could be completely wrong. But the rumor I heard about the new Star Wars was a rumor, and the new trailer I just watched doesn't make it seem so much like a rumor, which I'm so disappointed with that. But
Well,
have yet to see it.
Hey,
So
there's
what's
a
the
dark
rumor?
side of Disney.
I don't know. Oh God.
They got the idea for Darth Sidious from Walt Disney. He's not really dead. He's just hiding in the shadows, controlling
Darth Sidious is Walt Disney.
He's cryogenically frozen somewhere with
Yeah, under the park. He still has his apartment, I guess, in the park, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I have that one too. I had that one too. I just didn't think it'd be that interesting to talk about.
Yeah, his apartment is still in the park.
Recently, I saw this story being shared on social media. It was I don't know how long this happened, but it's a child pornography ring that cast members were involved in. Cast members being obviously employees of Disney, but this was getting shared.
Recent or
Yeah. I mean, I just saw it reshared again. I saw it a few times, but it was just reshared like last week by somebody on my Facebook news feed. But
Jeez.
I don't really know a lot of the details, but that's pretty messed up.
yeah, I guess so.
The world of dreams.
It's a magical place.
We're dreaming of you.
Have a magical day.
Is that what
My
they
kid
tell
only
you?
disappeared
That's
for
what
4
they say.
hours.
They tell you when they leave.
No, but really, it's a great place to visit. You should go sometime.
You walk in. Hi. You leave.
You paid to say that?
So,
your wife works for them, technically, sort of.
She works for
You want to take a vacation? Like, no, why? Are you sure?
I just said I needed a day off from
works
work.
for them?
Jesus.
How about Disney World?
Not really. I mean, it's
What
like
does she work for?
second. It's like more of a side hustle. It's like a
Side hustle.
you know.
Sorry, you ain't gotta tell me. You ain't gotta tell me.
She helps book vacations for people.
Heard
It's
you
like
want
a
to go to
second
Disney.
party company. But moving on. Have a magical day.
Have a magical day.
That's twice. I get $10 each. That's not true.
I bet you I'll go back down there.
I'd like to go. I've never been. Never been.
What do you think their streaming service is going to be? How do you think that's going to go?
It's gonna go fine. Everything they do pretty much turns into money. And all
They're
these
like the
shows,
Donald
these
Trump
Marvel
of
shows.
childhood entertainment.
Yeah, but Donald Trump went bankrupt 3 times, so. Or
Still
3 times,
doing
I
it.
think 3 times anyway.
Still doing it.
Both are fairly entertaining.
Yes.
You know, not to go political or anything, but he is
hey.
entertaining as hell.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
I mean, nuking a hurricane. Come on, that's great. I mean, why not? Let's try it.
What if it caused a super hurricane? Like, oh, good. Now look.
Oh, by the way, happy Labor Day, guys.
Oh, yeah, working.
just throw some dirt on it. You'll be fine.
I'm working.
You should go.
It's magical, right?
What else you got? What do you guys
I
get?
feel like I'm being brainwashed.
We're running
all
out of
a
stuff here? You guys running out of material here? What's going on? What else we got? Keep thinking of stuff. This podcast is dead.
Darkside dead. The mother of the podcast is dead.
How about Walt Disney forged his own birth certificate so that he could join the Red Cross? Kind of a noble thing to want to do, but to forge your birth certificate to get there, kind of weird.
Why? So what was,
Yeah, I don't even see where that would.
so what was the deal? Like,
He just wanted to join the Red Cross.
Was too young, or
You know, I should have probably wrote more about that, but then,
See, he was too
I got
young.
sidetracked by the fact that he had a lot of family feuds with business deals, and that like his brother and him didn't talk and stuff like that.
yeah, but yeah.
I heard the Disney family was very estranged, except for him and his mother.
Yes, because I mean they had a lot of falling outs from like business. Like he always let that get in the way of his, personal
Well,
relationships.
it's funny. Speaking of the Disney family, he has like a great granddaughter or something like that, who's part of the 1%. And it's funny because I remember watching a video from her talking about how the rich stay rich, the poor stay poor, blah 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 blah, because they get tax breaks. And I'm like, what are you bitching about? You're a 1%er. You get to never have to worry about problems because of the legacy you've been left. You don't pay you tax. I don't see you putting all of your money back into the world to help it make the poor not poor. To me, I don't remember her name, but to me, it sounded very much like a sad attempt to trying to.
Sounds like a Susan.
Yeah, like I said, it was air out of dirty laundry so she feels better without having to pay the consequences.
You guys are right. Where's my caviar?
It's legit.
Don't touch me.
The video irritated me. She's sitting there. This is why you should be against Trump. Be against Trump. He was giving tax breaks. I'm like, sweetie, you got it.
Was that a machine gun?
I thought he was singing that Billy Joel.
So you get
you ought to know by now.
a tax break, and you think it's not fair that the rich aren't making the poorer richer.
This is why you should be against Trump.
That's not.
Jesus Christ.
I thought he was having a take. I was going to smack the back of his head to keep him going.
Bubba?
What?
What else we got?
You guys actually had a lot of what I had on there. I had like 17, 18 topics, but you guys had most of them covered.
Bring up more.
Okay. You know what I do actually? This is gonna sound disturbing, but the kitty porn. No, the
Why are you pointing at me like
because you brought up the topic. Who was the guy that just like died?
The kitty porn.
That's not me.
The guy that just died recently. He was under investigation for sex trafficking.
Oh, yeah. He hung himself or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Apparently, tons of celebrities are involved. Oh, dude, it got deep. Like,
I did. Yeah, I just.
he wasn't the only one that got deep in that story.
That's terrible, by the way.
That's very terrible. I'm sorry.
Jeffrey Epstein, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Really bizarre circumstances surrounding that. Like, now he's magically dead. Oddly enough, you know when he died? When I was at Disney. So it kind of ties into this podcast, right? That added story.
What were you doing?
I was just, hanging out.
All right, so
I was at the Polynesian.
child porn
Check
Disney
my receipts.
Legoland story.
Was that the 33?
Winter Haven,
33.
Florida.
Or 31? Whatever it is.
Disney employee, Lego builder arrested in the child porn stand. Yeah, that's fucking messed up. Employed by Walt Disney, Polk County Sheriff's Office, 21-year-old. Wow. Jesus. Fucking somebody pulled a gun. All because of this guy. Officials say one suspect, 21-year-old Andre Estrada, was killed Friday when he attacked a deputy and reached for a gun. Another deputy shot him. All over this child porn sting.
You know, is this in the park or no?
No, it's affiliated with the park.
I am shocked that there hasn't been anything attempted inside the park or parks for that matter.
Security, or at least the checks into the. It's pretty on point.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I did read something about the ad. When I read about the actions, it got me curious. So I looked into it, and these people, Disney is so trained over the years for so many scenarios, from so many different things being done, and that people trying to do still, that they have like a book of procedures.
Yeah.
Like if you catch this happening, this is what you're to do.
A couple of weeks ago,
And
or
it
months
covers
ago,
everything.
there was that fight that happened between the family members, like an actual fist fight, and it went on for almost too long before it got intervened with. I forgot which park it was in, but that was kind of hilarious. You could probably watch that on YouTube. Solid fight. A guy was punching a woman. Solid stuff.
What'd she do?
This is so long. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Oh my god. People get banned from there for like you ever see Animal Kingdom? There's the whole symbol is a giant tree. Mm-hmm. So a guy was climbing that and he got banned for life.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, imagine if he fell.
some of the old Disney cartoons, there was some risque or whatever things in it. And what's the movie with the rats there? It's an old one from like the 50s or something like that.
The Secret of Nim?
No, I don't.
Five.
No, that was
Ratatouille?
Those are later on. There's in that one, I can't remember. I'll put it up on screen. There's that one where there's an actual centerfold for a Playboy Playmate and the wall in the background for like 2 or 3 frames.
And it's a 1950s movie about
Something
rats.
like that, 50s or 60s. It might have been earlier than that, but
that within itself.
I'll put it up on the screen. I came across
that within itself brings up a funny topic that people always seem to go to, and we haven't even brought it up yet. Just all of like the imagery, the hidden innuendos.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the phallic symbols on the Little Mermaid
Yeah,
castle.
in the original one, then they took it off.
Allegedly, the Grass says sex in the Lion King.
That was supposed to be SFX, I guess. Or that's
Something
what they
with-
claimed.
Yeah, that's what they try to plan it.
There's that whole thing with in Aladdin when I forgot what it was, but there's some innuendo, a sexual innuendo.
Oh, there's the one where they changed the way he strokes the lamp.
The Aladdin one was...
When he's on the carpet, right? There's like a conversation.
No, yeah, it was... teenagers are supposed to take their clothes off or something like that.
Yeah,
it
it's
said,
something
and
weird.
they said it's like no, it said silly whatever. Now get on the carpet and go. It's something that sort of sounds like it, but it's like, but when you're looking at the two lines, you're like, how the fuck do you mess that up? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, like what? Wait a minute.
How do you get to that?
I don't know how true.
There's a
the form
bishop
is.
or a priest in one that's like marrying two people or something and has an erection clearly in
Yes.
the cartoon, and then they re-edited it so. I'm like, now come on,
The
what's your
Aladdin.
explanation? for
Aladdin
that?
was another one. Going back to that, I remember hearing a story about they had done like the celebrity airing, like the red carpet viewing, and in it you see Aladdin the way he's holding the lamp, he's doing this to rub the lamp, and then
Wishes. He wants wishes.
when they
They shoot out a
re-release the
couple
movie,
genies on you.
when they re-release the movie, it shows him like polishing the lamp. But it was originally the way he was holding it. It's like, what do I have to wish him out?
Yeah. What'd you say? What'd you say before about the
Robin
Lion
Williams,
King?
dead.
You're like,
Robin Williams or Lion King?
Lion King now after the last one, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't see it.
I get a
remake.
lot of people said it was just an empty shell of what it was.
Yeah.
It's just a pretty.
It was a good
Jackie
attempt.
enjoyed it.
It was a good attempt at a live action version of the
Wait,
Lion
but
King.
can we just stop calling it live action considering it was just CGI?
Yeah. all
Okay,
right.
the CGI.
It wasn't real like
CGI.
tigers, guys.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't live action tigers.
Yeah, I'm
Talking-
pretty sure it wasn't live action tigers.
Bullshit. Then, damn it.
or lions or whatever. That
I think
they
it
say
was a-
tigers. You don't know
Yes,
that.
I think it was a
Tiger King.
I think it was a good
Live
attempt.
action lynxes.
What is? Go ahead.
I think it was a
pin in
good
that.
attempt at a CGI version of the cartoon version, but like I gotta agree with him, it missed like the childhood element, like the way it made you think, the way it made you imagine.
And it's just in nostalgia.
Lost it.
Speaking
Well,
of
no.
Lion King, I got a good one for you. It's a complete ripoff. It's plagiarized from something called Kimba.
Yeah.
From the 1960s or 50s. It was like a cartoon. It was from a Japanese cartoon called Kimba. Like almost frame for frame, they stole this whole thing. Now you could argue that Lion King is just basically Hamlet. But and so was Kimba. But this look this up. It'll blow it. It's like it's a white lion or whatever, and it's a complete like almost frame for frame ripoff of the whole thing.
The one thing I gotta give the new version of
Was
Lion
James
King,
Earl Jones in that one too?
the thing I gotta give the new version of Lion King over the old. In the original,
Donald Glover was in it. It can't be bad.
in the original, you know when Mufasa goes, "Is that a challenge?" Scar in the cartoon version goes, "No, oh no, I wouldn't dare dream of challenging you." That's the cartoon version.
Right.
Don't quote me. But when
I never will.
when I saw the live action,
He actually flipped me off on this side, just so
So
you,
full of
just so
shit.
anybody viewing this, all three of you, that's what he was doing.
so in the CGI action version, it actually Scar goes, "I would never dream of challenging you again." So it kind of like I liked that
It
because
gave nod to itself.
it gave nod to a Scar.
All right, yeah.
That should go into the multiverse. It's like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
It's breaking kayfabe.
If he turned slowly and looked at the camera, that would be gold. Then I would say this movie's great.
It's like Deadpool.
I wouldn't do it again.
Those are great movies. I would never attempt this again.
How could it go bad?
Never
For you.
before.
Deadpool
Yeah.
2. Green Lantern. I love it. You're welcome, Canada. That would
I
be
can't
great.
believe we're not going to get Tom Holland and Ryan Reynolds on the same show.
That would be so gold.
Well,
that would be
For
gold.
Deadpool and Spider-Man, there's a whole story arc where it's like just brutal.
Oh yeah. When
Hilarious.
I didn't even know about that till last Saturday when you told
Oh
me.
my god,
Really?
it's such
Yeah.
terrific.
Oh, I saw. I
It's such
told him, I
good
go,
shit.
wouldn't that be? That would be great, like on-screen chemistry between the two. And
Oh yeah,
Avengers.
yeah.
That's where it comes from. Deadpool kind of toys around kind of appears. I remember the comics.
Yeah.
He kind of appears in and out of the Avengers universe.
He's always trying to get
That
like
I know.
a job with them, and
but then he never takes it.
yeah. Or if he does do a job for them, it's like he completely just makes like
Oh, he totally
fucks everything up and kills people.
And Spider-Man is literally trying to become an Avenger, and he keeps fucking with him. It's
he has like a
great.
homoerotic attraction
Yeah, he told
to
me-
Peter
Speaking-
Parker,
Speaking of which,
which is perfect. 'Cause Ryan Reynolds does that all the time.
Stan Lee never confirmed it, nor did he ever unconfirm, like debunk it. Wade Wilson's bisexual. A lot of his mannerisms.
I think he's more pansexual.
a lot of
than
this
anything
shit.
right?
No, because he's totally into girls. If you
He's
watch.
into everything.
But
Like,
that's just
I have
it.
a lot of comics where
Like,
he
he do-
like literally there's one comic where he's pining and in love with death, and he's fighting Thanos over that, just that, fighting the living embodiment of death, which is a female, but it's also a skeleton. So he's into that.
He's into necrophilia.
He wants to bone the bones.
Oh yeah.
It's not stiff if I can still move her mouth.
Hey, the living embodiment of death, dead.
It's true.
Show it.
How would I even show that?
Thanos and death together. God, get it together. Moderator.
Moderate.
I know, right? See, I think that's what got me banned the first time, though, is because remember
That's
we were
why
doing, like,
that's why I was away. I instantly shut up. I knew something was going to.
It was either that or the vodka. I'm not sure what.
I don't think it was the vodka. That's
was
just kept
going
appearing.
well, I
That's
thought.
in the lost
Or no.
episode. You guys will never see, unfortunately.
Yes, you
Hopefully
will. I'll
someday.
leak it.
If this blows up, I'll release it on DVD. Just DVD though. It's not going to be on Blu-ray.
I want to leak it.
DVD. I'll
and
put it
then
on
get banned
VHS.
again.
It'll be
It's
tape
not-
trade.
I
It'll be on
don't see
VHS.
why the alcohol is your fault. The shots just kept appearing.
Laserdisc. I'll put it on Laserdisc.
You brought it, but it's like the glass kept filling itself.
No.
I think you can actually see me pouring the shots out.
No.
I don't know what happened.
No.
We should try that again with the bottle. No?
He was pouring a majority of the shots.
Shit.
The only sober one on the show that night, he was pouring the shots.
Gotta point it. See, and unfortunately, you people will never hear my side of the story because he's never going to air the episode. You guys will never see the truth that I never poured a shot.
So then why did I get banned? I just brought the bottle.
It kept pouring itself, but I don't know what he's getting blamed.
You'll see
it's like the mayor
video
on
of
the
him like
windshield.
we're all talking and he's like, "Yo, yeah, yeah," and then slowly it creeps up their face.
I need to see this. I haven't even seen this
And then
yet.
as we're talking, it's like we're just like, "Wow, wow, wow," just nonchalant taking it, not even realizing it's there, but taking it and drinking it, putting it back down, and then
You really
like
had that like Pavlov situation on you.
5-10 minutes goes by, then all of a sudden it fills up again, then it's in front of somebody
See?
else.
This time it fills up again. It's not he filled up. The guy could never get his story straight. And you guys, unfortunately, will never know the truth.
I haven't even got to see it. And it's the one that got me banned.
I should just clip right now during this whole conversation. I'll clip every time he fills it and just put it up
would be
there. So every time
That
it's
would be
just him
awesome. Our livers that night.
and then if it's
Dead.
sitting down and if it's sitting down in front of someone
here.
and there's too much shit around it and no one's paying attention to it, what he'll do is just do this and then push it further up so someone notices it.
I remember Tyler getting a bit animated.
There was one. I did this, so I remember the one shot I did pour.
Yeah, and then he
A
just
couple minutes later.
slowly inch it up.
Couple minutes later.
Then the rotating moderators.
Yeah.
Terrific.
I saw the pictures because they went to the group chat of Ty in your fridge.
Oh man.
Half and half, the fucking creamer. He's literally got a picture of himself like this.
He live streamed himself walking up to his house. I
Oh. See, the Disney brings out the dark in all of us.
It's racist.
Yes, man.
Song of the South.
Misogynist.
So anything else before you have a direction here? Or no? Yeah, maybe we should do the rotating moderator thing again.
By all means, you should have been moderating this. You sort of are because you're the Disney guy.
I'm not really doing anything. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, no, you guys actually.
I'm actually a figment of your imagination.
You guys.
Figment, a Disney character.
Fuck did you go? Dead.
Alive.
Oh, sorry.
Three
I
off
thought you meant
there.
my imagination.
Three off.
That thing's dead. Dead as my dick. I mean,
It's dead. It's deading.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
Oh, yeah. He's.
clear. Oh,
I gotta give it mouth to mouth.
I'm going to give you the
It's
old
got a
quacking
little.
push.
It's got a little mouth.
Falcon punch. Quacking. Oh,
Sonic boom.
Hadouken!
Favorite movies? Wait, hold on. Are you shutting it off now?
Oh, he left. No, he left the whole fucking podcast. He's not even in anymore.
Well, because before
not
we
on
close it, I
camera.
just want to, I don't want this to be all negative. I wanted to throw some positive notes.
Yeah, we should actually job a few of them.
The cast members now, they have subsidized childcare, increased hourly
Yeah, I'm
rates,
talking about cool shit like the movies.
free tuition with partnering colleges. Cast members get
Oh,
passes.
don't even.
Sorry for dumping all over Disney fanatics out there. Or anything,
Yeah, this is
but
what I'm doing here.
This is a really interesting topic I found. It's just-
And there's so much more out there. You can even
Now, let me
research
ask
it.
you something. The free tuition for partnering colleges. I can name another company that's yellow and blue. I won't say
I
their
love
name.
Disney World, by the way. Like a
So
lot of
do I.
Disney movies.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're great, but there's
It's
so much-
well documented. I
You-
love Disney.
You can't deny the shit that
He's
goes
got
on.
the
and
tower tattooed
it's
on his
great.
penis.
My penis is the
Tinkerbell
tower.
goes over it.
Tower of Terror.
Every time he gets an erection.
It is terrible.
you see,
I mean,
like,
terrifying.
Well-
It's terribly terrifying.
It's a terribly terrifying experience of terror.
It's like a terror wrecker.
Terror erection.
It's a terror.
Really, really a great place to vacation.
Yeah. What, your penis?
Or-
Well done. In unison. All right, now you can shut us off if you want. On that
yeah.
note.
Wait, we didn't even say anything
We
good.
can end on that
I just
note.
gave you some.
My favorite Disney movie, animated movie, those classics. All right, so I'm just dwindling down here. Jungle Book,
It's not a bad one.
Classics.
favorite, because the soundtrack.
Tarzan.
Probably Alice in Wonderland for me, but then you can also throw in Nightmare Before Christmas. Even
On Elm Street.
that was a touchstone movie, but then obviously Disney cannibalizes every business, so it became a Disney film. So that one's up there.
One thing I gotta give Disney is, and this is on
Your
good-
money,
No,
we do all the time.
They've gotten thousands of my dollars.
They've bought up so much of almost everything, but I gotta give it up to them. It's all for the money, but the stuff that works well, they're not messing with. That's nice. For the most part, I didn't say all of
He
it.
was about to go in on some StarArs, but maybe we'll do that for another.
That's another podcast.
For the most part, everything
done a Star
that's
Wars podcast,
working.
haven't
we?
Well, I think. Hold on. Real
I'll wait
quick,
until the new movie
real
comes
quick,
out.
if you don't mind, just a quick little note. I think the reason why Disney started to tweak that formula was because 1, 2, and 3 didn't do as good as everyone hoped it would be. George
Well, I mean,
thought
they did fix the
greatest-
Jar Jar Binks scenario, right?
But
I mean,
so
not to
that's
go
what I'm
too far,
saying.
but-
Like they like, all right. 1, 2,
shout out
3.
to Jackie for that point.
George Lucas, you had too much creative control over everything. You didn't do as good as everyone hoped you would. So we're gonna reinvent the wheel a little bit. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's what actually happened. That's what I think. That's why I think they went.
What
with
they
the
did
direction-
right, Marvel.
Yeah, they haven't touched
We
it.
had a whole podcast and we talked
Thank
about
you,
that in the
Kevin
past.
Feige. That's
Yeah.
what they did right, is get Kevin Feige. That's
But what
they
I'm
did
saying-
I mean, that's become an
A lot-
institution unto itself.
A lot of the stuff
The
that they
MCU.
have gotten their hands into, as long as it's running and working and making money, they don't mess with it. Which is why a lot of the stuff that they do own, that a lot of people don't realize they own, they don't realize they own because of that.
Well, a lot of
They
people don't even
think Disney
remember, like
owns it. It's
Nightmare
still known.
Before Christmas. It was not really a Disney movie.
Well, Fox. Look at Fox. Disney
Yeah.
bought up Fox before
Predator,
Deadpool 2.
Alien. There's
I'm pretty sure Disney bought up Disney or Fox.
It
before-
cannibalized everything, but
Disney bought up Fox.
it's
before-
sometimes, like you're saying, it's a good thing.
I'm pretty sure Disney bought up Fox before Deadpool 2 dropped. And Deadpool 2, if you ask me, just as amazing. Not better than the first one, but definitely on the same.
hard to beat the first one.
It's hard.
Yeah, well, because the first
Ryan
one was
Reynolds says it in the
different at
movie.
the
The
time.
first movie made more money than the guy who invented pants.
I like
But
pants.
that's a normal hard thing to do. I mean, how many sequels are better than the first?
But what I was
It's not
saying
many.
was
Not many.
Disney had a
Terminator
hand
2,
in what
Godfather
was going
2.
on. And they didn't change the formula. They didn't touch it. They let it go. And it worked. Deadpool 2,
Yeah, those-
fucking phenomenal. I've heard rumors of Deadpool 3. I hope to God it's true. Because Ryan Reynolds, I honest to God think, is by far meant for Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine him in any other roles anymore.
And incorporating him into the MCU now would be terrific. I'd sign me up for that.
There's some, but here's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of money there. Just like with Tom Holland and Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
there was so much money
I
there.
saw the first Tom Holland one. That was
We
that.
probably, right now, anyway, we probably won't see it. But there's a lot of studios that do that. There's a lot of money sitting out there, and this is not just Disney in general. This is just studios in general. There's a lot of money from a lot of franchises that if they did crossovers or whatever that are sitting there that won't be made because of studio heads.
But yeah, but mark my word, with
There's
Disney, they're
so
going to make
much.
X-Men versus the Avengers one day. There's too much to do with that.
Yeah, but they own.
Yeah,
all that.
you're right. They do own it now.
That's not what I'm talking. But I'm talking more along the lines of. I actually, I can't even say because I think who owns Evil Dead? Is that Touchstone?
No.
Or Paramount?
I
Or
believe
not
it's
Paramount?
No. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is Touchstone.
New Line?
No, not New Line Cinema. No.
Because New Line owns Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Pretty
now.
sure New Line Cinema does not own Evil Dead. I'm pretty sure.
I thought they were all under the same umbrella. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure they are.
Evil Dead's always been like a B film.
They're all B films.
Of the
really.
B films genre. No. I understand what you mean by they are a B film, but
Will you guys just kiss and get it over with? So I can watch? You fat.
honestly, Evil Dead though.
Magic Screen, is it under one banner? Okay.
I told you.
Right.
You or I are both right.
That's right. I like
Makes
that.
sense.
That was good.
I'm done.
Well done.
You're welcome.